Hey guys, Gamel here with another reading, and I'm reading Dear Celestia, Dear Princess Celestia, which is the first chapter and the only chapter of Downfall, which is it's an interesting story written by the famous Brony writer, and I just figured, I just read it for read it because I like the plot of it, and it's pretty much about Twilight writing a letter, but it's a very special letter, as you'll find out as I start reading. Anyway, Dear Princess Celestia, have you ever wondered what it's like to kill another pony? Wow. Right there, that means that I can never send any of the letters, but I don't know. I just feel like writing my thoughts out like this. I suppose it's my scientific and analytical mind that brought this on. I have to keep my thoughts on this matter organized, and, well, have always felt the most organized when I'm writing to you about what I'm feeling. You're probably wondering why I ask. It's nothing special, really. It all began when I was scanning the library shelves for something to read. I came across the book called The Anthology of Evil, Equestria's Most Notorious Killers. I had never read a book like that before, and seeing as how I am a student of learning itself, I took it off the shelf at once. What I read disturbed me, at the same time that it fascinated me. I think the description of the Canterlot killer's murder of the family of four unnerved me the most. I mean, what drives a pony to do something like that? Well, that is exactly what I'm asking myself these days. What goes through a pony's mind that makes them want to kill another living being? Why do they feel the need to tear the life away from an innocent pony? What goes through their minds as they watch their victims take their final breath, knowing that they are the reason behind it? I don't know why, but it's torturing me, not knowing the answers to any of these questions. Normally I just look it up in the book, but none of the stories had any interviews with the killers themselves. They were all executed, and the interviews they had with you before the executions aren't public records. I'd ask you for them, but I don't think you'd be very keen on letting me read them without a really good reason. I don't think you ever let any pony read them, which is unfortunate. I want to know why. Your faithful student, Twilight Sparkle. Dear Princess Celestia, I'm writing you to tell you about a dream I had last night. I had just finished rereading the book about the killers again before bed, so that's probably what triggered this dream. I dreamt that I was standing in the basement with Pinkie Pie strapped to a table. She was crying and her mane was flat, which was confusing to me since she's always full of life and her hair so vibrant. I remember that her left hind leg was bleeding. At first, I didn't know why her leg was bleeding, but then I looked down and saw that I was holding a bloody knife. Well, it wouldn't take Starswell the Bearded to deduce that I had been the one who had cut open her leg. I don't know why I did it. I suppose that it's just the nature of dreams. You do things that you don't normally do, but I did it. However, I wasn't done with her. I cut off her left ear and right cutie mark with a knife. You wouldn't believe how much blood there was. It was really fascinating. She was begging, pleading for me to stop. "Twilight," she would say. "Why? I thought we were friends. I thought you liked my parties." "I love your parties, and I love you as a friend," I responded. "But this is for science, Pinkie Pie. Doesn't that make you happy, knowing that you're a part of something larger than yourself?" Well, she kept crying and bleeding right up to the point where I ended it all and stabbed her in the heart. I woke up directly after that, covered in sweat, just like I'd been covered in Pinkie's blood. It took me a few seconds to register the fact that I hadn't actually killed Pinkie Pie, that I wasn't a monster who had betrayed her friends like that. Why didn't I feel bad about the dream? Normally, when I dream about doing something bad to other ponies, I feel terrible afterwards. Like I am the scum of Equestria, even though it was only a dream. So, why was that dream so exhilarating? Your faithful student, Twilight Sparkle. Dear Princess Celestia, more dreams like the one before, only this time I killed Applejack. This is the third such dream I had this week. The worst part is that I should feel bad about these dreams, or should I? They're only dreams after all, so why do I keep having them over and over again? Although it's not even that's bothering me. What's bothering me is that I almost can't wait to go to sleep at night because I'm almost excited to have another one of those dreams. Is something wrong with me? Your faithful student, Twilight Sparkle. Dear Princess Celestia, I'm writing this in the bathroom where I've locked myself in and I'm never ever coming out. I am not fit to be around any pony ever again. I guess I should explain myself. How does this bother day with Rarity, Pinkie Pie, and Fluttershy, and I just snapped. I almost killed Rarity. I just left to go get some more beauty products from Rarity's hair, and I saw a hoof file on the tray next to the reclining Rarity. I just had to kill her. It wasn't a curiosity issue this time. It was a need. I needed to kill her. I needed to take the hoof file and stab her in the throat. Watch her life drain away before me. I imagine she would have I imagine she would have had a look of utter betrayal and horror on her face, as the last thing she would ever see would be me standing above her. I imagine I would look very pleased with myself somehow. Do you know the worst part was? I actually reached for the hoof file. I fired up my horn and picked it up. It would have taken just one swipe with it, and that would be it. She would be gone forever. No more Rarity. Well, actually, Fluttershy asked me what I was doing, and I immediately dropped the file and ran. I had to get out of there. I had almost done it! If Fluttershy hadn't interfered, then I would have killed Rarity. I'm not fit to be around a civilization. I should just sit here and wallow in my misery forever. Then I can't hurt any pony. You're evil and insane student, Twilight Sparkle. Sorry about the last letter. You know how overly dramatic I can get. Don't worry, I didn't spend more than 16 hours in the bathroom before I came to my senses. Usually when I freak out like that, it's longer. I replayed the events over yesterday in my mind over and over again, analyzing the different scenarios if I actually killed one of my best friends. Would I have attempted to escape, or would I have given myself up then and there? Would I have moved on to Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy before taking out Aloe and Lotus? Oh, the possibilities were endless. But no, I can't think like that. I can't think like this at all. I can't kill any pony. It would be the ultimate act of evil. But why is that so appealing? It seems so much more so because of how forbidden it is. You don't kill another pony. You don't even think about it. End of story. But the fact remains that I'm thinking about it, and I want to do it. I don't know what brought this on. I've been pondering that ever since my first dream, but the urge is there. I don't know why it is there. What worse is that it is powerful. Your faithful student, Twilight Sparkle. Dear Princess Celestia, more dreams have come. I found myself falling asleep halfway through the day only to find myself in a dream lane standing over one of my friends with a knife. It's gotten to the point where I can almost feel the vibrations of the blade as it presses the flesh of my friends. It was Rarity again last night. I sawed off her horn and used it to stab her in the heart. I know it's only a dream, but I find myself liking the idea more and more. But I can't do something like that. After the incident with Rarity, I've shut myself off from the rest of the world. I haven't seen another pony in about a week now. I spend most of my time rereading that book and combining the library. Oh, combing the library, hoping to find a book or a stack of old papers that will give me some clue about why Killer does what he does. If I can just answer the question, then maybe the dreams will stop and I can go back to normal. But I've found nothing, and as such the question of why and what it is like as it still burns into my skull, consuming my entire being. I'm finding that the only thing that is keeping me going is the thought of murdering another pony. Should I actually go ahead and do it? Maybe then these dreams and thoughts will stop. If I answer those burning questions, then maybe I can move on and never speak of this again. I'll merely add it to my vast arsenal of knowledge, and I can move on to another topic that I know nothing about. I suppose that is why this is bothering me so much. I don't know anything about it, and it's going to take more than a book to fix that. There's no simple solution to my questions. Your faithful student, Twilight Sparkle. Dear Princess Celestia, I am so sorry, but I've decided to take the leap of faith and kill another pony. Wow, even writing that I feel a rush of excitement. It's like discovering a new spell that no pony has ever even thought of before. It's quite the exciting prospect. Of course, there's a lot of planning that has to go into something like this. I mean, you'd kill me if you ever found out. Literally. So, I have to be extra careful. Do know that I undertake this endeavor with the most seriousness. I would not do it if I hadn't thought out every detail, every pro and con. I made a 36-page list about it, and I came to the irreversible conclusion that this must be done. I've been having the dream and urges for 2.5 solid months, and I think this is the only way to make them stop. If I decide to kill in a controlled environment, then I can avoid doing something stupid. I mean, I almost killed Rarity that one day, and another day when Derpy came along, I almost killed her too. No, I have to be more careful than that. I have planned this out, done the last detail. Nothing can go wrong, and I'm sure of it. I have planned for everything. Once again, I am so sorry. I know you see all the ponies as like your children, so what I'm about to do would be akin to murdering one of your children. But it must be done. If not for the thirst for knowledge, then so my dreams can finally stop and I can go back to living my life. Spike is getting worried about me. Your faithful student, Twilight Sparkle. Now, what's next is a transcript of the recording of the murder committed by Twilight Sparkle. Hello, this is Twilight Sparkle. I am recording this in the basement of Golden Oak Library on April 10th of the year 2301 at 10:23 p.m. I acquired the pony, who I'm decided to call Subject 1, 3 hours ago, and I'm currently waiting for her to wake up. The subject is a female Pegasus with a light blue coat and dark green mane. She has simple cutie mark. The subject appears to be somewhere between the ages of 16 and 18 years old. She is strapped down to the table and groaning is heard as Subject 1 wakes up. Oh, where am I? What's going on? Why am I strapped down like this? Who are you? What are you doing? And I thought I was the inquisitive one. Nervous laugh. Subject 1 whimpers slightly. Please let me go. Wherever I did to you, I'm really sorry. Oh, you didn't do anything. I guess you were just at the wrong place at the wrong time, which is fortunate for me because you look like the perfect subject. Subject? No, I don't understand. What do you mean, subject? Oh, that's right. You wouldn't know, would you? Well, to put it simply, I'm doing an experiment of what it's like to kill some pony. And you're my test subject. Does that answer your question? Silence for a few seconds. Is this some kind of joke or something? No, I'm afraid not. Look, you don't have to do this. You could just let me go and we can forget all about all of this. I can go back to my life and you can go back to yours and we just part ways. Well, yes, we could do that. However, I don't want to. I have to know what it's like to kill another pony. If I go nuts, I'll go nuts if I don't. Slight weeping is heard from Subject 1. Don't be sad. I promise you it won't take too long. Are you a bad pony? A bad pony? No! I didn't do anything to deserve this! Well, that's good then, isn't it? Your soul will go to paradise, and I will have my answers. We both win, but I'm afraid that we have to get started now. Please don't do this. What sounds like a cart being moved is heard, followed by the sounds of a unicorn horn. Twilight sparkles, firing up. No! I have decided to begin making an ascension in the middle of the subject 1's left foreleg. Are no major blood vessels there, and I can go a basic understanding of Subject 1's tolerance for pain. Please, don't do this! I'll do anything to... Subject 1 begins shrinking in pain as Twilight begins cutting into her foreleg. There is no audible noise coming from Twilight, but there is a faint noise of her horn coming through the screams. Subject 1 clearly has a tolerance for pain as the cut in her left foreleg is only a millimeter or so deep. However, the scream might be more terror than pain. I'm not quite sure one way or the other. How am I feeling though? Well, I don't really feel bad about it. My ears kind of hurt from the yelling, but the screams seems to be calming down a bit now. I'm not quite getting the rush I expected when I first planned this out, but then again, we haven't really gotten to the detailed parts quite yet. The sobs of Subject 1 have increased in volume. Please, let me go. I'll just do whatever you want me to. Just let me go. I'm sorry, but I can't do that. Jeez, that sounded like hell for a second. I mean, you turned me in right away. I'd be in big trouble, so frankly I have better odds of getting away with this without incident if I just keep you here. I'm sorry, but I can't stop now. Twilight Sparkle clears her throat. Now then, I'm going to continue with a long cut along the stomach of Subject 1. The blood should flow freely, and it will be a good starting point if I want to examine her inside at a later juncture. Subject 1 is heard whimpering as Twilight Sparkle horn fires up once more. Subject 1's whimpers increase in volume before dissolving into a full-fledged scream. Twilight Sparkle clears her throat once more. Subject 1 begins openly sobbing. Well, that's a lot more blood than I thought would come out. I think I must have cut it a little too deep. She's bleeding all over the floor. Should plan for that. Maybe wow, that's a lot of blood. Oh, Celestia, what am I doing? No, I have to keep going with this. If I quit now, I'll just get in trouble, and that'll be the end of my advanced studies. Okay, Twilight, focus. Just gotta focus on the... Please let me go! I want to go home! I want to go home! My baby sister is gonna miss me if I'm not home in time to tuck her into bed! I need to tuck my sister into bed! She's going to... The sound of a knife pressing... Oh wow, it just changed. The sound of a knife penetrating flesh is heard, followed by silence. Twilight Sparkle. Time of death of subject is 10:56. I decided to end it quickly before I realized that I started this to see what it's like to kill a pony, not torture one. I don't know why I just didn't do that to begin with. I didn't need to make those first two cuts. I could have just stabbed her in the heart in the very beginning and gotten the same result. Aside from that, how am I feeling? Well, empty. End of recording. Dear Princess Celestia, I wrap subject 1 in a tarp and bury her behind the library. Dear Princess Celestia, it's been a week since the death of subject 1, and I think I've gotten over the shock of what I've done. I expected that once the shock wore off, that I feel something, anything, but I didn't. In fact, I don't even feel worse. The empty feeling that I got directly after the kill is gone. I just feel like Twilight Sparkle. Does that mean I'm going to kill again? No, I don't think that I will. Once was enough. Your murderer of a student, Twilight Sparkle. Dear Princess Celestia, I think I'm going to stop writing these letters now. I mean, what else is there to say? I killed subject 1. I don't feel bad about it, and thus I've answered all my questions. I suppose I just have to move on to my next subject. Your faithful student, Twilight Sparkle. Dear Princess Celestia, okay, I know what I said I was done with these letters, but I think I may have a huge problem on my hooves. I think that Fluttershy knows what I've done. How do I know? Well, I don't really. To make a long story short, her, Rarity, and myself were at the spa again. I'm happy to state that I didn't have the urge to kill Rarity this time. When Fluttershy shot me a look, I've never seen a look like that on Fluttershy's face before. But I just couldn't shake the feeling that it said, "I know what you've done, monster." It was the kind of sad glare that hit me right where I live. Maybe I imagine it, but I have to keep an eye on Fluttershy. If she truly does know what I did, then maybe she told other ponies about it, and the other ponies know, then, well, I'm finished, aren't I? Your faithful student, Twilight Sparkle. Dear Princess Celestia, well, I decided to talk to Fluttershy today. Or, rather, I decided to have tea with her to see what she knows. It was a simple little get-together, like we've done a million times now. Only this time I went in to see if she truly does know what I've done. My conclusion? Well, I don't have one. She didn't really say anything that indicated that she knows one way or the other. She mostly just talked about her animal friends are doing. I didn't get an answer even when I tried to steer the conversation to what she thought about me. I asked her what she thought about me as a pony, and she assured me that I'm a wonderful pony who she is honored to call her friend. However, I noticed that look again. Am I imagining it? I don't know, but if she does know, she's hiding it. I don't know how she could have figured it out. Your faithful student, Twilight Sparkle. The following letter had a significant water damage when it was found. It is presumed that the damage came from tears that reappeared parts in rare. Oh my god, I cannot read! The repaired parts are in red. Dear Princess Celestia, what have I done? I killed her! I killed another pony! As if I had some right to discover what it was like. My curiosity is no justification for the ultimate act of evil that I committed. She had a baby sister who is doubtlessly confused and hurt that her sister just disappeared like she did. I can only imagine what she would feel if she ever found out that I killed her sister. I played creator and took away life without any reason to do so. I would turn myself in now, but I'm scared. Princess, I'm really scared. I think I'm going to Tartarus for what I've done. I've been mean to. The water damage for the rest of the lever was too severe. Salvaging the remains was impossible. Dear Princess Celestia, sorry for freaking out there like that. Was my last letter. I cried all over it. Can you believe that? I've learned to control my emotions better if I'm going to continue to live a life as I hadn't done it at all. I'm starting to doubt that Fluttershy knows. I mean, surely she would have confronted me with it by now, or at the very least turned me in. But then again, Fluttershy doesn't like conflict. If I simply came out and told Fluttershy what I'd done, then she probably wouldn't cause a big ruckus about it. But then again, she would probably ignore me and do her best to stay away from me if she did know. Until I know for sure, I can only live my life as normally as possible. Spike doesn't seem to know, so that makes things simpler. Your faithful student, Twilight Sparkle. Dear Princess Celestia, am I going mad? I thought I got away with it, but did somebody see me bury Subject 1 behind the library? At first, I thought Fluttershy was the only one who could possibly know, but I was at Sugar Cube Corner today, and Miss Cake gave me the same look. It didn't stop her, though. It kept getting that same disappointed glare from half the ponies in town today. If all of them no, then why haven't they gone screaming to the police yet? It doesn't make sense that I'm just imagining these glares. But I can't think of any other reason for why they keep looking at me like that. I'm either going mad or they know. Your faithful student, Twilight Sparkle. Dear Princess Celestia, I feel sick. I haven't eaten in a few days and sleep has been even rarer. Every time I close my eyes, I see the face of Subject 1 staring at me, pleading me not to kill her. I'm beginning to wish that I could take it all back. I could rescue Subject 1 so she could go home and be with her sister. But I can't. I can't bring her back, and I can't erase what I've done. I consider performing a memory spell, but I can't cast it on myself, and another unicorn would need to know what the memory they were going to erase, or at the very least why, and that would give me away. I can't risk any pony finding out. I imagine that even Rainbow Dash would turn me in if she ever found out what I've done. Your faithful student, Twilight Sparkle. Dear Princess Celestia. They know, they all know. I went outside today and I got the glare from every pony, and I mean every pony. They all stopped and glared at me, silently judging me for what I did. I wanted to scream at them to stop. I wanted to cry out that I was sorry and they shouldn't blame me for what I did. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to. Well, needless to say, I haven't been outside since. Every time I peek outside, there's always some pony there who glares at me. I'm beginning to see the glares in my sleep, if that makes any sense at all. I can feel the piercing gazes following me whenever I go, silently telling me what I already know, that I'm evil, plain and simple. I took the life of another pony. There is no higher crime in our land. It's only a matter of time before one of them snaps and turns me in. I can only ask that you don't think too low of me as you watch the hangmare's noose tighten around my neck. Your student, Twilight Sparkle. Dear Princess Celestia, have you ever wondered what it's like to kill two ponies? I know this sounds crazy, but I kind of want to do it again. I almost feel that it's in my best interest if I kill another pony, because if the town does know, that means they will find out, and if I do it again, this kill could be a message to them all that I can kill them all if they interfere. Bears have not gone away, and I think this may be the only way to stop them. Even Spike knows now. Should he be the one to kill? If I tell them all that I'm even willing to kill those close to me, then they'll keep Twat. Alright. Even Spike knows now. Should he be the one to kill? If I tell them all that I'm even willing to kill those close to me, then they'll keep quiet. Or will they turn me in instead? I don't know what to do, but the urge to kill is once again rising inside of me. The judging glares are mixed with the parasitic urges to kill again. Your faithful student, Twilight Sparkle. Dear Princess Celestia, what a relief no pony knew about what I had done. The bad news? They all do now. How did they know? Well, I attacked Rainbow Dash. I found out that no pony knew when my friend came to me to see how I was doing. Applejack said something about how I didn't look too good. An understatement of my reflection of any indication. How they were all worried about me because I haven't been outside the library for 3 weeks now. I've been refusing to talk to any of them about it. If they tell me stuff like that, then they certainly don't know about what I've done. I was so relieved that I attacked Rainbow Dash. I suppose that was with the nervousness of the glares gone that my urge to kill skyrocketed now, and I believe that I could get away with it whenever I wanted. I was right. The look of betrayal on her face was something to behold. Applejack bucked me off of her the second that I realized what was going on. have quite the bruise from that. She began yelling something at me about how I betrayed Rainbow's trust by going at her with a knife, that she might turn me in and have me arrested. In a moment of weakness, I told them all. I don't know why, but I just snapped. I just said it right there. I killed a pony. The others didn't believe me at first. Said I was sick and that I needed to lie down. Fluttershy even said that she would bring me some carrot soup and that would make me feel better. I can't feel better, though. I never can again. Not only did I tell them what I did, but I showed them as well. I dug up Subject 1, presented them like a filly would present a science project to a teacher. None of them really knew what to think at first. They all just stared silently at the mostly well, my screen just turned off. Mostly decomposed corpse of Subject 1. Even with the amount of decay, it was still obvious that something had stabbed her. Pinky was the first to leave. She didn't say a word. She just walked away. I don't know where she went or what she did, but she just left. Rarity and Fluttershy left me after that. Rarity was silent, but Fluttershy was openly crying. I wanted to comfort her, tell her that this was just a moment of weakness, that I was not a monster. But I am. I am a monster, and this is my reward for that. I think what hurt the most was seeing their faces. I didn't know that ponies could look so betrayed and horrified. Applejack and Rainbow Dash hit me before they ran off. I can only assume they're going to turn me in. I expect the police at any minute. Princess, even though I'm never going to send these letters, I see this as one of my final friendship reports. I learned that if you commit a heinous enough crime that your friends will leave you. I'll hurt them, but they won't stand by you. It's only what I deserve. For the last time, your faithful student, Twilight Sparkle. Princess Celestia finished reading the final letter just as the sun reached out to her, telling her that it was time for it to go to sleep for the night. Celestia gently put the letter down and looked out the window, hoping that the images before her were merely a nightmare, as she would wake up to discover that this horrible reality was not just that. However, she knew she would forever remember the image of two grounds ponies putting the final nail in a small coffin right underneath the gallows that had not been used in decades until today. Celestia heard the door open behind her. In a few moments she saw that her sister was beside her. Luna nuzzled her sister, hoping to comfort her in one of the worst hours of her life. Luna looked up at her older sister. She was always so regal, so collected even in the darkest of hours. However, the look of utter helplessness in her sister's eyes was unmistakable. And that's the end. Well, I don't know what to say, honestly. I guess in all reality, this is kind of true. I mean, when it comes down to it, curiosity does take the best of us. It kind of drives us to do things we never really thought about, honestly. Not everybody can be a murderer. That's true enough. And better yet, if you are a murderer, you can't have friends. The only friends that you can have are the weapons you use and the dead bodies you keep hidden in your closet. Any friends you have, you'll eventually have to kill off. Because one way or another, you'll slip up and tell them of your dark deeds. Then after that point, it kind of just writes itself. Slowly and slowly, the bodies would just start to pile up. Eventually, it would start getting noticed that people's friends were starting to disappear. People that had known for years just simply disappear. They either just suddenly move or they have some accident. Eventually, the questions all start turn to you. Where were you when this happened? He was last seen with you. You were the last person to talk to him. Does something seem off about him? You don't seem too well. Are you okay? What have you been doing? Do you mind if we look around? It's just too late. Your closet is so full that it just busts open. You don't even find the point of closing it. You stand there and look at the body of closet after, what, 100 or so dead bodies? And you just silently wonder to yourself, when is enough enough? Is there ever enough? Will there ever be enough? Probably not. If I was to kill, the reason why I would kill is not because I want to, not because of curiosity's sake, not for the grand gist of it, not for good and not for evil. I would kill because I would have to. You can't just kill and live a normal life like it was nothing. Oh no, that kill will forever be on your soul. That kill will burden your soul forever. It will ride your soul all the way to hell or heaven, depending on whose lifestyle it is. It will forever haunt your nightmares and your every waking moment. Every time you close your eyes to blink, just in that split second, you will see their face and their silent face of judgment looking at you. Whether it be bloody and marred, beaten and bloodied, tears streaking down it, with snot swelling out of the nose. It's a damnable thing it is, really. But hey, somebody has to do it. Without murder, there would be too many of us. Though, I guess if we did overpopulate, I guess less people would notice automatically, wouldn't they? Just pick off the ones that people don't notice much. They wouldn't even notice if they disappeared or even cared if they disappeared. Then slowly work your way up to bigger targets. You could take over town like that. Make sure everybody stays in town, control the police force, make everybody on your team, kill them off as you see fit. Increase your organization, build it further and further and further. Eventually, you would have your own little terrorist group. Wouldn't that be a thing? I couldn't do something like that. The scream of the innocents would eventually get to me. And I would just kill myself eventually. Just a good old bullet to the head, really. And I would forever wish in hell, with the skeleton claws clawing my soul down into a boiling pit of lava. Or at least that's what they say. Who knows? Purgatory, another life. Hell, I don't care at this point. Whatever happens, happens, really. And whether my soul be damned or not, I'll know for a fact that I'm a murderer. And nothing in the world would ever change that. Pitiful, don't you think? But who am I to care? In fact, if you're even still listening to this, then maybe in a couple of days you'll see my face on the news. DeMarco Jackson, aka Gamel Light Show, has recently committed a murder and all that junk. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video, I guess. Don't start murdering people yet. Don't start murdering after this. Don't. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully. Join the Wolf Army.